Trading card games there's just so many different aspects that you can appreciate for them. The way you can construct decks can be very evocative of just concepts that you want to portray. I really enjoy building decks. Like, playing is fun, and I like, also, personally I like the rules of the game and like helping people understand what you can and can't do on a micro level. Just being able to build a deck and kind of have mechanic expressed properly is where I get my most enjoyment out of it.
And there's just so many things and so many processes going through that it's just a lot of fun. You find yourself caught up into the point where you don't care if you win or lose. It's a lot of fun interaction. It's just a lot of problem solving, quick thinking, and just that kind of being able to hang out with friends and do something different. Like, we're still learning to play, and just that fun experience of learning the games together, collecting the games together, just that sneaky way it helped educate you on math. It helped teach you problem solving. It helped teach you how to lose properly, how to win properly.
You can easily find a nice little in-between space. It's like, yeah, I really like the big stompy creatures, and I like all the rules, like myself. And just kind of find a niche. There's always something to kind of curl up in and like enjoy about the games.
We're not a gaming store, but at the same time we sell a lot of gaming product. We carry Magic the Gathering, Pokemon cards, Yu-Gi-Oh! And it's something that the parents enjoy the kids buying, you know, that they get a kick out of it, you know, and but it is popular. Pokemon's probably the strongest right now. Magic is a little bit more of an older generation, you know, more of a older teenager, young adult for Magic the Gathering.
Like, stepping into a board game that you just don't know, it's probably going to be rough, and it's not going to be fun the first time. One of the biggest things that's a problem is people enjoy playing Magic or Pokemon or any of those given games, and they don't show up for tournaments because they feel like they're not as good as the other players. And I get that fear. I understand why that exists, but that's not how you get better at playing a game.
Either you win or you lose. Now, there's different ways to look at that. Winning and losing come in many ways, but it translates to life, because if you lose a game of Pokemon, you go, well, why did I lose? What could I have done better? Could I have played a better strategy? Could I have put better cards on my deck? What could I have done? So anytime you lose, you need to go back and look back at why you lost, because you learn things from winning, you learn things from losing. There's things to be taken from both. Competition is healthy. That drives innovation. You don't play to lose, you play to win. I mean, you put the work in, you put the time in, you put the effort in, all that to lose. Okay, when you lose, it happens, cool. Pick yourself up and figure out why you lost. It's a stick to it kind of thing. Just because you lose once doesn't mean you'll lose this a second time. And even if you lose the first 2 or 3 times, doesn't mean you'll keep losing. As long as you don't continue to make the same mistakes. Learn from the mistakes. That's any part of life. From a card game to just everyday life, learn from your mistakes. Don't repeat them.
I'm kind of the person that gets caught up playing whatever I want to play, and half the time it's terrible. Like, I think I've only had one deck that stomped, and it was because it was accidental. Like, I have mad respect for those that play competitive, but unfortunately competitive in the wrong environment can destroy the player base. I don't competitive shame or anything like that. There's definitely a time and place for competitive, and you have to learn. You have to learn to be able to understand the game and know the game well enough to be able to be competitive. You do that through casually learning how to play.
It's good for the hobby as a whole, you know. When you have professional players in anything, video games got professional players, you know, when you got esports teams. Well, now I think you're going to see some of this stuff start to, it's going to gain more mainstream popularity. Not just with kids, you're seeing it with adults, because it's what we played with when we were kids, and now we have the disposable income to buy it.
As far as gaming goes, I would have to say the internet's the biggest reason why the popularity has grown so strong. The internet. A lot of people collect for fun, but a lot of people collect for investment. You know, a lot of people are interested in how much something's worth than the fact that they just enjoy it, you know. But that's what the market, the internet market has done. It's created more demand, more collectors.
Unfortunately, there are people who their intent is to min-max buying and selling cards like stocks. And obviously that is what I also do, but like I do it to get cards in the hands of players, right? I feel like I personally want people to be able to play with the things that I give them. I want to be able to supply people with game pieces, whereas there's a lot of people who don't care about the card itself. It is just a monetary, it's a dollar bill for them, right? As long as they can turn it over, they can get some amount of money out of it. And unfortunately, those kind of people inflate the price of the cards, so it makes it a little bit harder for me to get, you know, playable cards into people's hands.
From collectability and rarity standpoints, dollars tend to equal rarity. Not always, but it tends to go that way. So the harder it is to pull, the harder it is to acquire, the more the boxes go up, the prices of the boxes those cards come from, you're going to see those things go up. Well, it's called appreciation. I want my investment, because that's what this is for me, an investment, to appreciate, to go up in value. My cards, I don't want them to be a liability. I want them to be an asset. In order to be an asset, they have to appreciate. In order to appreciate, you can't destroy their value by making poor choices in the way you manufacture the product. Not everyone's going to be able to afford certain cards, but what you have to realize is most of those cards that people want, that's from a collector's market. That's not a play market, because most of those cards aren't in play rotation. Now, we have some cards that just bumped from $2 cards to $25 cards overnight because of the fact they got put into rotation to be able to be played in tournaments. But when they go out of rotation, I don't think those prices will hold. I think you'll see those prices come down 75%. The only reason they're there is because people want that card in their deck. Because that does change. You know, they rotate what's eligible for play and what's not in Pokemon. They do it in Magic. They do it in all TCGs. They rotate what cards based on things that they're seeing in tournaments and things that are overpowered. They basically nerf it, so someone can't just come in and just destroy everybody. If that one guy has that card that that no one else can afford, or it's super hard to get, and it just comes in and decimates everything, they're probably going to ban that from tournament play.
It's something that I just have to deal with. Like, that is a part of our industry. It's a little weird when somebody buys all 50 of our, 10-cent common cards because they think that, in 2 weeks or whatever, it's going to be like a 50-cent card, especially when that's like a very playable piece that, most decks can run. And I like to have some in stock if somebody wants to buy that piece to play that card. But there's not much I can do about it, really. Like, it's part of our industry.
There's two kinds of collectors. Those who appreciate the hobby they collect, and those who want to buy things that are going to be worth money down the line. So it's a dual purpose. There's different types of collectors.
I mean, I collect for fun. I have a binder of literally just Pokemon cards that sit there because I think they're pretty and I like them and I collect them. I mean, it's something fun for people to do. It teaches people about taking care of product. It teaches kids about responsibility, how to take care of these cards, and it's just indescribable what it can do for people. The camaraderie, the friends that you can make, and it's just fun to collect.
I always said, if you're going to buy for investment, buy something you enjoy at the same time. It's more fun to invest in something you enjoy than something just because everybody else is doing it, But if you're going to do it for investment, do your homework. Do lots of homework, study, know what people are buying and selling stuff for, study auctions. And also, it's a condition-sensitive market, like how something grades out. The condition of an item is high grade 500, a low grade could be $50. So condition is important, and that pertains to anything, cards and comics especially.
The guys that overspend are now in the hole, and the guys that were more conservative made some good money. And I don't know. We'll see when the dust clears. Like I said, the next couple of years, where we end up as a hobby with all this. We'll see.